Hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie, what did we just experience?
We just experienced the cinema masterpiece of 2025.
2025, what a year. We're now at the tail end of it, and you know what that means, right, Annmarie?
Yeah, it's time.
It's time. It's time to compare our children and and see
Hilarious.
and see which one we're not throwing in the fire. So that's how our parents did it anyway.
Oh my gosh! And we're not like the Oscars because we don't do a top 10.
No, we do not.
Screw you! I'm not kidding.
No, we do things a little differently out here. While most people out there do a top 10, we keep things more clutch and do a top 5. But we do multiple top 5s, that is, for the end of the year. And Annmarie, what would those top 5s be?
We do our top 5 favorite movies of the year and our top 5 most anticipated movies for 2026.
Absolutely. So when it comes to, our top 5 of the year, we do that, and of course, with some honorable mentions, which we'll go through, along with our most anticipated honorable mentions included there as well. Keep in mind, as we go through this list for the top 5 of 2025, we're not omnipotent beings. We haven't seen every single movie in 2025
We haven't?
as much as we would have wanted to.
Yeah.
There's quite a few movies that just we had such a great desire to see, but just due to time and life itself, we did not get around to.
Yeah, so lay off and don't get mad at us, basically.
The aggression is peak right now.
And of course, our lists are just our lists, basically.
Yes.
If you have a favorite movie and it wasn't on this list or either one of our lists, do not get upset. Go enjoy your movie. Be happy with it. It's okay. We can all have different opinions.
Yeah, and in fact, let us know your lists in the comments down below, your takes on our tapes. We want to know what you guys think is, what are the best movies of the year and what your most anticipated are for next year. Who knows? Maybe there were movies we missed that we didn't even know existed until you mentioned it in the comments. So we'd be happy to check them out. Just let us know in those comments. And of course, if you want to stay tuned for future videos of the sort and hang out with us as we talk about movies, please feel free to join our little community and subscribe and like. We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Annmarie, I think it's about time we get this thing rolling.
Yes.
But first and foremost, before we jump onto our favorites of the year and the following year after that, what do we got up first to knock out the negativity out of the realm?
Yeah, so this is our first year that we both decided we're going to do this because as great as 2025 was, there were some big disappointments out there. And so we each picked one movie that was our biggest disappointment.
A lot of people do those top 10s of like worst movies of the year. I mean, nothing really against those people, but we prefer to kind of go about it in a way where it's a little more in good taste of, yeah, we didn't like it, but, this was just the biggest disappointment to us. Like, we had high hopes. So, I don't know, I think that's more interesting than just, this was bad.
Yes.
So, all right, without further ado, I think it's just very well suited to have Annmarie go first with her biggest disappointment of 2025. So what do you got?
Man, there was some disappointments here, but there was one that really stood out to me. And it was one of the first movies this year that Ethan and I both walked out of and had completely different reactions to it. And my movie is The Materialist. I went into it with a lot of hype, which was really interesting for me because not really a romantic kind of person. The trailers really got me, which it's really surprising, but like the marketing did its job. It got me in the theaters. And unfortunately, it just fell on its face for me. Dakota Johnson, oh man, I feel bad for her because like she's had such bombs the last couple of years with Madam Web. And I don't know what it is, but I just don't buy her as much as some other people do. And as well as Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans. But the biggest disappointment for me is it's the story of it. The Materialist, to me, is just a mess because it has such interesting ideas and themes of, oh, but maybe someone who is a dating coach she would overanalyze who she dates, but then it throws in a weird subplot, and I really walked out of it extremely disappointed. Completely opposite of you, basically. You really liked it.
Yeah, well, I mean, really liked is a strong,
Yeah.
phrase,
You liked
but
it way more than that.
yes, I did. I thought it was pretty solid showing from Celine's song. It wasn't what I was expecting from her coming off of Past Lives. If you were to ask me which of the two I like better, I like Past Lives significantly better than The Materialist. But at the end of the day, I really like at heart what The Materialist is about and is going for and how it kind of pulls itself together at the end. I also enjoy the cinematography of it. The acting, I think, for the most part, is pretty solid. I don't think it's as great as it could be, but I think it's solid enough to really convey the message and for me to enjoy the movie at least by end's day.
Yeah, and again, I'm so happy it worked for you. I know some other people really liked it. Some people in my life was like, that was a great movie. Just didn't work for me. And it, again, a big disappointment, especially with Celine Song at the helm of it. I just thought it was something that would really, I don't know. Again, the marketing did its job, and then the movie didn't.
But hey, shout out to the marketing team that
Really?
yeah, the heroes of 2025.
Yes.
Um, but okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. I was kind of half expecting that to be on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now let me guess what Ethan's was.
So mine, interesting enough, has to do with the wardrobe. I am a big, big fan of Lilo and Stitch. I am not a big fan of, not the biggest fan of live action remakes. Not to say that there aren't some that, I enjoy. Aladdin is a good one. I liked.
Little Mermaid?
Little Mermaid was a very welcome surprise. I was not expecting that to be as, good as it was. Of course, with one that will be on my honorable mentions list, the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, which was truly a surprise, and was exactly a template for how one should go about making a live action remake. Coming into that, and coincidentally enough, along with some of the people involved with How to Train Your Dragon, the original and the live action, with Chris Sanders reprising his role as Stitch, we got Lilo and Stitch, a live action remake. And I figured, this might be one I'm actually interested in seeing. I like seeing like the little fluff ball in live action. And you're bringing Chris Sanders back to do the voice. He was not brought back to direct, however. Regardless, I was excited still because the director behind it, I can't remember his name at the moment, but he was the one that did Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which I'd recently watched at the time. And I was so excited for it because Marcel the Shell with Shoes On really touched me. It was a poignant movie. And, it was bittersweet. It had me laughing. It made me feel all the emotions. So I'm like, this is the kind of heart I would love to see in Lilo and Stitch. So if he wants to do something different with the source material, but like have that same heart that we love in Lilo and Stitch and try to capture that with his style, I'm all for it. We go to see this movie at like an early access screening, and I was so utterly disappointed within the first few minutes, and then even more so disappointed as the movie went on. It was just, I could not take the casting decisions that they had for Jumba and Pleakley. And there's a reason why they don't really show them throughout the trailers and marketing. It was just such, to me, it was really a big insult to what came before. Now, on its own, I can understand why it made over $1 billion, and why like a lot of people do enjoy the movie, and I don't want to take that away from you at all. For me, the original just is so powerful to me and sticks out in my heart, and this one I feel like kind of just missed the message on what the original was going for. And not only in regards to the messaging, but just the execution of certain characters, the writing, the pacing of the movie. It just really fell apart for me really quick. And at the end of the day, it's my biggest disappointment of 2025. Now, for the second one that they have coming out, that obviously if you make $1 billion, you're gonna make a sequel. they are having Chris Sanders, I believe, involved with the script this time
Oh,
around.
really?
So that gives me a little more hope. I hope not to be disappointed this time around, but I'm definitely going to have my expectations more in check considering what I went through with this movie. And I did try giving this movie a second watch. I which sometimes I see something new the next time I watch a
Yeah.
movie I didn't like initially and I like it more. This time I actually liked it less. So,
Oh, great.
yeah, so
Was it originally supposed to be just a Disney Plus film too?
yeah, and it shows, but at
Yeah.
the same time it's yeah.
Well, and the interesting thing is, it seems like the one that should have worked. Like out of
Well,
all the Disney movies you do, Lilo and Stitch is the one that you would think like that would be good live action. So
yeah, exactly. Amongst others like Atlantis and Treasure Planet. Um, so, hear me, Disney, please, please,
get
please get on it. Here, it just really didn't work, and it was again probably because of the JPEG era of Disney and
yeah.
that whole mishap. So we'll see how it all comes together with its sequel. But as it stands right now, it's my biggest disappointment of 2025. But now that we got the negativity out of the way, which by the way, before we move on and fast forward, let us know your takes on our tapes with the negativity. Let us know what your biggest disappointment of 2025 was. Did you think it was Lilo and Stitch? Did you think it was The Materialist? Do you think it's some movie that we haven't even heard of or one that, we didn't even bring up so far? Let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, where are we fast forwarding on to next?
Oh man, we're gonna go into before we go into our top 5 of 2025, we both got some honorable mentions that we want to talk about before we go into it. And
Yes,
so,
ew.
because this year was a great year, it really was. And again, we didn't see everything, and we didn't review everything. And so, if you are upset, again, please let us know in the comments down below.
We are not licensed cinematic therapists, but we are here to listen.
Yes. But we're both really excited to talk about just our honorable mention. So I will get started because there was a lot that I had on my list, and my list changed several times. One being, I think this is going to be on both of our lists, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action. That movie is just, wow, what a way to take an animated movie and make a live action movie. Speaking of like Lilo and Stitch, that was clearly such a amazing film, and unfortunately just missed my top 5 in general, as well as a couple other ones. No Other Choice, one that I honestly did not want to go see, and Ethan made me go see, and I'm so glad he made me go see it because it is such a beautiful movie that just just shows what it is to be human and have your back up against the wall, as well as Ballerina. Again, never seen a John Wick film. How dare I've never seen a John Wick film? Please yell at me. I'm so sorry. Sinners is as well on my honorable mentions. Did not make it. Again, not a horror movie fan, but that movie isn't really a horror movie. It gives so much character development and music, and I would have loved to put it on my top 5, but missed out. And I think the biggest one that was on it for the longest time, it was number 5, and it got bumped out like a couple of weeks ago. K-pop Demon Hunters is not on my top 5 this year. Yeah. That movie is such a momentum. Shout out Netflix. Please release the sequel in theaters and make a lot of money. It's not on my top 5 though.
That's a shock.
Yes, I know, right? It was on it for the longest time, and then it got booted a week ago.
That's crazy. Okay, I have no idea what your top five's going to entail.
Yes.
So, and then Sinners, which, I wasn't expecting to be on your top 5, but the fact that it's an honorable mention, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, wow, that's
That's my honorable mention.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now it's time for mines. Mine.
Mine.
So up first, and this one's a late edition, I will have to say, is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. This was a movie that I was expecting to be good. I love the first 2 Knives Out movies, and this one is I love it as well. It's definitely a great trilogy we have going on with it. Ryan Johnson, you're awesome. Here though, with Wake Up Dead Man, it really delivered something different. It wasn't just what we got before with the first two Knives Out movies that do have their own types of cadences, but this one I think was such a different step, but in the right direction. And it brings up so many different questions of morality and faith and how it's perceived and what actions people take. And the score, of course, is great. And just everything together here. I think it's one of Brian Johnson's best, and it's definitely a great character piece. So, next up here we got No Other Choice, which of course was on yours, so I need not say more. You did a great job. One that didn't make my list that was on my list for a majority of the year was Black Bag. I really enjoyed this movie. It was on my list for, again, the longest time. Um, it was Steven Soderbergh, right, that directed this movie. And it was one that we got another early access screening to that I was like, oh, this one looks interesting. But I think we mainly only went to see it because it was an early access screening and we had nothing going on that week. And it was a movie that was just so well put together. The acting's incredible. The chemistry is there. And it's so dynamic. It's so well written. And it's just such a brilliant film. It's a shame it didn't do as well at the box office.
Yeah.
So Black Bag is on my honorable mentions. One that was on my list for a very short time for top five, but got kicked off very quickly, was Train Dreams with Joel Edgerton, movie that is out on Netflix right now. Um, uh, Basically a look into a tragedy that occurs in logging in Idaho in like the turn of the century, late 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s, and just one man's experience. And it's such a tragic, heart-wrenching story, but bittersweet, and it's truly, truly a wonderful film that I think Joel Edgerton deserves an Oscar nomination for his acting. And the cinematography in this movie is alone one of the reasons why it was on my top five at all. And it was just so brilliant. So I would highly recommend you see this movie. It's not a long one, but it's brilliant. So Shelby Oaks. So shout out to Chris Stuckman for finally making a movie and getting it distributed by one of the best in Neon. It was a solid movie. It's not one of my favorite of the year, but it was definitely a movie I enjoyed. And again, a credit to a YouTuber that went out and did what he sought to do and fulfilled a dream. So big shout out to Chris Duckman and Shelby Oaks. Predator Badlands it was
Yeah.
definitely a movie that I really liked. I was kind of expecting it to be on the same realm of like Alien Romulus, where it's a movie that probably would make my top five or at minimum get an honorable mention and just be a fun time. Here it just like really which was difficult for a movie like that to exceed my expectations. It felt almost like the closest thing we've gotten to a Metroid movie of sorts.
Mhm.
And which, by the way, Nintendo, please get on making a live action Metroid movie, please. And I'm just was so immersed in this world that they set up. The action is killer. The first few minutes of this movie are epic as hell. And it's just such a fun ride of a movie. And the ending is hilarious and epic all at the same time and sets up something big for what's to come. So I gotta say, Predator Badlands is the last film on my honorable mentions list. There is one more that I think it both kind of made our honorable mentions list
Yeah.
that we haven't mentioned just because it's so fresh in our minds, obviously from our wardrobe if you watched our last review. But Marty Supreme,
Yes.
great film by Josh Safdie. And, we're looking forward to see what he has up next, along with Timothy Chalamet and many others in that cast and crew to see what they got coming up next. So,
Wow.
yeah, those are my little honorable mentions here. And yeah, guys, we want to know what yours are. The ones that didn't quite make your top five or top 10 list. Let us know those movies that, were great, that just didn't quite make it, but were great enough for you to mention and want to talk about. with your fellow movie fans. So let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Anne-Marie, I think it's about time for some fast forwarding on to some top five.
Yes, our top five. This is going to be really interesting, you guys, because last year, Ethan and I's top fives were very similar. If you go back, pretty sure we went head to head for most of them. This year, I don't think our lists look the same at all. So I'm very excited because we both don't know each other's lists. And so we'll start off with number five. My number five is Superman. I grew up reading the Superman comics. I have said it many times. Lois Lane, my personality is just based off Lois Lane. And going into this film, I had this nervous feeling because I was like, oh no, like James Gunn, can he do it? Can he pull off Superman? He absolutely does. Superman is such a fun film, so full of hope and light, not just for the future DCU, but also for the future of just like humanity in general. I really think that film came out at a perfect time that we needed that film. We needed Superman. We needed David Cornsweet as Superman to show us hope and something that we can believe in. And I'm not doubting this. Ethan, I know Superman's on his top five. I'm pretty sure it's not number five. I will let you all know that right now. But I had to sneak it right in there, right at the end, because it is a film that really did resonate with me. And oh my gosh, I have so much hope for James Gunn and Peter Safran. And I cannot wait to see what they do in the future. Like, that movie was just, like, watching it again, even on Max, it's just incredible. And so,
Yeah, that's definitely one that forgot was going to be on your top five.
it snuck in there.
Yeah, it's just you think about all the movies that came out, and you're like, oh, which one's going to be on Anne-Marie's? Which one? Because
Yeah.
ours are going to be so drastic. But yeah. So I, gosh, I forgot the format already of how
Your
we
number
do.
five?
Yeah, my number five now. Oh, I'm so cool. So number five was one that I think really kind of summed up the year in regards to genre success. So the biggest thing this year, I would say, success-wise from a genre perspective, was horror. Horror did so well this year. This is historically, I think, the biggest year for horror at the box office. And one of the reasons for that is a little movie by Zach Kreger, uh, formerly from The Whitest Kids You Know and director of Barbarian, is Weapons. Now, Weapons is a awesome movie that definitely was worth seeing in the theater. I was already excited based on what I saw from Barbarian and just like how he plays in the genre of horror and adds different elements from other genres, even including comedy. And it really plays into the idea that we keep talking about from Jordan Peele as like the main difference between comedy and horror is really the music. Is that, yeah. I think this movie really plays into that idea. Just there's so many, the way that it's acted between Julia Gardner and Josh Brolin. I mean, the whole cast is just so good at what they do here, delivering certain lines in a comedic way, but also one that's understandably how someone would react in that horror situation. It's just so phenomenal. And Kreger's style of how to play with the camera, and of course his love of how one approaches and perceives a doorway. Like I love it. I love his door play there. And one of the biggest stealers of this movie is, oh gosh, what's her name? One second.
No.
Hang on. I had
I knew Weapons was going to be on Ethan's top five because he walked out of that movie. I did not go see it. I did the editing for the review, so check it out. But he was like, right away, he's like, this is on my top five for sure.
Yeah, so Amy Madigan, who I did not know was in this movie at all, until I'm seeing it in the credits and I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, that's the mom from Field of Dreams. She played Aunt Gladys. That is like my mind was blown. She did such a great job in that role to truly transform and become that character. that I'm not surprised there's a lot of talks about her receiving an Oscar nomination for that movie.
Yeah.
The score here is wonderful. The soundtrack is wonderful. Cinematography. I was on the edge of my seat throughout this whole movie. The suspense is great with how Kreger plays into it, and weapons. At, again, one of my most favorite experiences in the theater this year, because if you see this thing with an audience, you're gonna have a blast, and you'll be okay with people shouting in the theater.
Yeah.
So, with that, Annmarie, what's your number 4?
All right, my number 4. People are not going to be happy about this. I know they won't be happy, but guess what? This is my list.
Damn right.
And I get to make it. And number 4, it's funny it's number 4, but it was always going to be number 4. Fantastic Four is my number 4. Again, you need to understand this because I think I hear people now being like, Superman's the better movie. I 100% agree. I know Superman's the better movie. Fantastic Four has such a deep meaning to me. I grew up reading the Fantastic Four comics alongside Superman too, of course. And I've waited years, like literal years, to see a good Fantastic Four representation. Because we had 2005, we had the Tim Story ones, and still, I still enjoy those, but it's not Fantastic Four. And then I have The Incredibles, which of course is my Fantastic Four for the longest time. So when Marvel announced this, it came at a time where I really feel like, again, we needed Fantastic Four for the Marvel universe. Because right now it's broken, but the Fantastic Four was able to add a layered tape to really be like, we can still do this. Vanessa Kirby, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, Ebon Moss-Backrack, they're my Fantastic Four. Like I get to finally say that. And you brought the greatest villain, Galactus, into it. And
Planetary Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, as Ethan likes to call it. I'm so glad I got to see it with my friends. I got to see it with you. I got to see it with my other friends. I was like, I felt what I had felt when I was a little kid. I'm like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, I teared up because I'm like, wow, like, it's real. Like, it's not fake anymore. Like, this is actually real. I don't have to keep watching The Incredibles to fulfill this hole. Like, I get to see it. And again, it meant a lot to me. And I'm so glad. Like, I've always been a superhero fan. Like, that's never going to change. Like, I'm always going to have DC and Marvel's back. I'm always going to have that. And so having the Fantastic Four be on the big screen, like, I wish I could go back to 6-year-old Annmarie, who it was still dyslexic, and be like, when she was just she was reading the comics because she couldn't read anything else, and be like, guess what? Like, you're gonna get it. Just be patient. And so it meant so much to me. And so I understand, like, people don't love it as much as Superman, but guess what? We both had 2 incredible superhero movies, and that's all that matters to me. So
Wow. Yeah. No, I knew that one was going to be on your list.
yeah.
It's funny enough that was number 4.
I had to put
That's
it was in number 4 originally, but then it got moved. I'm like, well,
it might as well, you know.
yeah,
But no, that's a little cute add-on there.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I love a little Planetary Captain Crunch, and I
yes,
figured you were gonna put that on your list. I figured it would be best to have you talk about because that was on my honorable mentions originally. But I'm like, I think Annmarie should get the say in this
I
one.
get it.
So, but no, that's a good one. I like that one. Especially with the placement.
Yes,
So now with my number 4 here,
yeah,
I gotta say it's one that is a very last minute addition to the top 5 list. It's one where I'm like, I'm not even sure that I'm gonna see this one before the end of the year. And like maybe it's one I catch before Oscar season, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm hearing some buzz about it, but I just don't have the agency to see this movie. After what was it? Some sort of holiday or some sort of break. I can't remember. But I had a little bit of a break in my schedule, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go see this movie and be real quick about it, in and out, not even think too much about it. It's probably gonna be an honorable mention or something. And I'm watching this movie, first act, I'm like, okay, this is solid. This is really solid. Second act, Okay, wow. Wow, that performance is great. Overall, the movie is very, very good. The third act. Holy shit. Wow. If you want to talk about a movie that has a true fulfillment of catharsis, do not look any further than Hamnet. Chloe Zhao's Hamnet is a masterclass in how to make your story pay off. It is a beautiful story about historical fiction perspective of what we know of Shakespeare, of what may have inspired the story of Hamlet. Between Jessie Buckley and what's the actor's name?
Paul Mescal.
Yeah, Paul Mescal, their performances, the child actors in this movie. I mean, it's just everything captures you in this movie. And by the end of it, there is not a dry eye in your theater. And this movie hits you like no other. Went into an earlier screening in the morning. Again, not only expected to be like, satisfied. I was like coming out like needing to get a tissue. I
Yeah.
I was so fulfilled with this movie, and it truly captures what catharsis is and how we can truly get that through the arts and through what we love to do and what our talents are. That movie had me speechless by the end of it. So Chloe Zhao's Hamnet had to be on my top five. There was very few movies that had me feel like that ever, let alone this year. So that one I had to put on my list. So Hamnet is at number 4.
Wow. I'm not even gonna respond to that because number 3 is Hamnet for me.
Let's go.
Yeah, it really is. I hate Ethan sometimes. I do. Because I had my whole list set up and he's like, Annmarie, I think you really should go see Hamnet. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. I walked out. I'm pretty sure he still has the text. I'm like, thank you for changing my top 5 once again. Because Hamnet, I did not expect this movie. I really didn't. The performances, I'm going to say it again, Jessie Buckley deserves to win. Like, hands down, more than anyone this year deserves the win. And if she doesn't, I'm going to throw a big fit. But I'm just so in love with this story and everything. And I've been through a lot of loss. Like, the last 2 years, I've lost a lot of people in my life. A lot of young ones in my life. And oh man, I don't want to tear up, but like I like felt so like this is what you do. Like this is how you honor those people. And that's all I could think about. I'm like, oh, I want to honor the ones that I've lost. And oh man, I was like, Ethan, are you kidding me? Like, I'm gonna change it again? Like, it was hard enough to get a 5, and now I have to change it. And yeah, I adored it. So
Yeah, and another thing, I know I mentioned Jessie Buckley's performance in this, but like there's so many times I've seen like reviewers say like, oh, this actor, so and so actor, and this so and so performance is a revelation. And I've heard that so many times. And, a lot of times it's true, but I think the epitome of that is in Jessie Buckley's performance here because she truly is a revelation here. And I was just so taken aback by her performance. I haven't had a performance hit me this hard since Timothy Chalamet in Doom Part 2, where it actually pulls you away and just kind of like, oh my gosh, like this is a movie I'm watching, not this person feels like they're in the room with us.
yeah.
So to me, I think it's like an automatic lock-in for the Oscar. Put her name on it now, give it to her for Hamnet.
I think I said it in our Marty Supreme review. Like, there's a scene where I'm like, that's the scene that they're gonna play when she wins the Oscar.
I'm pretty sure it's the same one we were thinking about, but we won't say anything because
Don't
we
see it.
haven't seen the movie. So, but yeah, Hamnet, hell yeah.
Dang you! I just had to change my top 5.
Yeah. Now it's time for my number 3.
Yes, yeah.
Which is one that I know we differ on quite a bit in our review.
No.
So I'm a big GDT fan. I like me some Guillermo del Toro. I think he is a phenomenal director, a true masterclass of what he does. And I think he's the relatively more family friendly Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
Because both I think love to play in folklore and mythology and be accurate and true to it and also convey a sense of romanticism to it at the same time. But here Guillermo del Toro, this is like the epitome of his style. I think if you want to look for a microcosm of have all his work and what he strives to do, this is his style. This Frankenstein, Netflix's Frankenstein. I am so glad that they did a limited release of this movie at all. I got to see it in a movie theater. I was taken aback by the performances between Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi. Jacob Elordi, I think, this is my favorite role from him. I think he kills it. Mia Goth, oh my gosh, I did not know she played two different characters in this movie. And I had no idea until it was mentioned in some sort of behind the scenes thing I saw. Did not know that, then, I would not be able to tell throughout this movie because it's her performances and the makeup team behind it just did such a great job. But Guillermo del Toro is truly the head of this ship here. Wow, like just a masterclass in what he does, between the cinematography, the beautiful picturesque scope of this movie, and like just the beauty of it, this gothic beauty that GDT is able to capture here is truly something else. And I'm really looking forward to getting this one on physical media, not only for specific deleted scenes that they say will only come out on physical media, but just because I love to see the artwork that he has ready for it, and just everything that went into making this beautiful tapestry of a film that is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
I knew it was going to be on your list. I knew it. It snuck in for you.
Oh, yes, it did. Unapologetically so.
Yes.
With that, Annmarie, what's your number two?
I went back and forth a lot between my top two. I really did. This one was really hard for me because I love both of these movies, and I've watched both of these movies several times this year. But what really made the edge for me is seeing it in the cinema. There was just such a difference for me experiencing my top two in the cinema. And again, I really love both of these movies. You could ask me tomorrow and they might change, but I cannot believe it. You had this on your honorable election, but Black Bag is my number two. I love that movie. I told Ethan a couple of weeks ago that I rewatched it, and he's like, "You rewatched it a lot this year," and I did. I just can't believe how good it was. And every time I watch it, I'm like, it gets better and better and better and better. And it doesn't treat the audience like idiots. It has amazing character development, amazing actors in it, and just such a strong suit. Who directed it again? I don't remember. Steven Soderbergh. Man, this guy deserves a lot more credit and work, and I really hope he gets that, because this was a film that just amazed me and continues to amaze me. I can't believe I've watched it so many times, and I just think the writing, the directing, and I just can't believe it's on your honorable mentions list. That just, if you saw, I was just like, what? Like,
I'll tell you what, it would be on my top 10. But
yes,
we do top fives here.
We do top fives because Oscars, we're not like you. But I love it. I just can't believe how good it is. So
yeah, and Soderbergh, he's actually kind of more in line with like Spielberg in regards to what genres he touches. Like he doesn't just stick with one. Like we want to talk about horror, he does Presence. We want to talk about spy thriller, he does, One Like Black Bag. The man knows how to touch different genres and knows how to really convey whatever sense of gravity and style that they need. And here with Black Bag, he did such a great job. So listen, it being your number two, I completely understand.
Yeah.
It was my number two for a majority of the year until movies happened. And
I wish it
so
came out later in the year. That's my biggest thing, because I think it could be an Oscar contender if it came out later in the year.
I wonder, yeah, how that would have really shaped
Yeah.
things. Mine is probably a lot of people's number one. But again, this is my list. I could understand where the thought may come where it's like this is a better film in regards to like the film like how it's made and just everything, how it's executed. I completely get that. But for me, it just didn't hit the same as my number one, but damn was it a great film. And that would be Ryan Coogler's Sinners. I love this movie. It was a movie that was not afraid to wear its heart on its sleeve with really breaking the genre norms of horror, thriller, just like all these different elements in here. And it succeeds in so many different ways from the score, which also plays into that style of genre bending and like jumping to this, to that, to rock opera, to gothic, to blues and jazz. Like it's just so unapologetic with how it goes about itself. And Ryan Coogler is so good at capturing, and Miles Caton, what a standout performance. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is great. He deserves, Smoke and Stack. He deserves the Oscar nomination for both of those
Yeah.
characters. He were nominated twice for both those characters. I would not complain at all.
That'd be wild.
People would be upset. Ethan Buddy here would not.
Yeah.
Um, but Miles Caton, though, wow. Just, I hope he gets more roles. I want to see him in more. He was just a phenomenal piece to this puzzle here that really was the epitome of what this movie was going for and just really captured my attention. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ryan Coogler has next, especially after this. Because people were like, "Oh, Black Panther movie, we want to see that. We want to see the next superhero thing." Nah, man, like I want to see what Ryan Coogler's got going on with his originality. I want to see what he's got going on when, there's no overarching franchise thought in the process here, where he has free artistic control. And now he might be in the conversation for, one of the best directors working right now, like with Denis Villeneuve, Christopher Nolan. If he can land one more, I think he's definitely, secured that spot in that top three.
Oh, absolutely. Sinners was on my list for a long, long time and got booted out, but I totally understand. I thought it was gonna be your number one, to be honest. So
I completely understand because it could be, but there was one movie that just stood out above the rest, and to me, and it just yeah. So, and also a credit to Ludwig Göransson for his score in this movie, which is
so good.
takes like honestly is half the heart of this movie. So like definitely, I find myself coming back to that score constantly. It's got like a Led Zeppelin inspired vibe to it, along with just a buddy guy, who is in the movie as well. Like it's just such a masterpiece of a film. I think it's Ryan Coogler's best, and that's why it's my number 2 for 2025.
Number one?
All right, so guys, it is number 1 time, and this is the time to let us know what you had leading up to number 1 on your list before you let us know your number 1. But first, let's inform you and enlighten you as to what we've been holding back for quite some time and what we felt was the best of the best for the year of 2025. So, Annmarie, without further ado,
It's finally time.
it's finally time. Let's roll it.
Again, to take something that I don't care about and make me love it is what this movie did. And I just can't. The experience I had in the cinema seeing it, I love where I could just feel it. Like the whole time, I just felt it. And I love characters that are coming to be the best in their field. And this movie just absolutely just stomps, and I love it. And that's F1. I cannot believe it. Just absolutely adore this movie. I really do. Brad Pitt is just fantastic in this film and makes me care about F1. And I do not care about F1 at all. But I loved it. There's shots in this movie that just makes me shudder. And that's just something that excites me. Like, that's what I love about movie making. It's just the way they are able to shoot this movie, and there's like scenes where it whips around the car. Like, I do not care about F1. Why should I like this movie? Love this movie. It really beat Black Bag because seeing it in the theater, like watching it on the TV, yes, so great. Still really much enjoy it. But seeing it in the theater, it gave me that like feeling that like I was like, oh wow, I'm like racing a car. Like, this is so cool. And again, such a standout movie. The music I really do enjoy. I really think it's a movie that I I would put probably in my top 10 favorite sports movies of all time. That's like a tough list too. And it's just a movie that so stood out to me with the directing, the acting, the story, and it's that one of those movies that like I was like, "Oh, I want to put in the work and the effort and be the best of the best. I want to do what these characters did." And overall, I can't believe it's my number one. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, this is gonna be a hard contender, but it's here right now.
So are we to assume whenever there's an F followed by a number in a movie title, we are to assume that's going to line up with your top five
dang it!
list?
Oh my god, wait, I didn't even
So,
notice that. That's
like
so
F4 at number
funny.
4, F1 at 1.
Fine. Oh shoot, I did not. I Everyone's gonna be like, yeah, I remember you played that. I really did not plan that.
No, listen, I loved F1. I think it's great. I was not expecting it to be at your number one of the year,
My
but
number one.
I mean, it's one of our friends, mutual friends, number one pick. I would
Yeah.
think last I talked to him at least.
Yeah.
And it's just a movie that hit me as well pretty darn hard. I was gonna put it on my honorable mentions list, but I was gonna let you talk about it because I think it hit you more. And when you were not saying it your top five throughout, I'm like, did she put it on her list? So I was like, I better bring it up like as a postscript here for honorable mentions.
It's in there.
But yeah, no, F1, Hans Zimmer's score, by the way, in that movie, let us not forget. Just top of the line kind of stuff here. Good choice. Good
Good
list.
five.
So now with my number one of 2025 is a movie that may require a quick transition here.
Wait, that is so funny.
James Gunn's Superman. So after my time in the phone booth there, I gotta say, you know, James Gunn's Superman is my number one movie of the year. It it is a movie that unapologetically has so much heart written all over it. It's the epitome in my thinking of truly having your heart not only on your sleeve but on your chest and just everywhere. Every step you take is so, and I keep saying this with movies I love, are unapologetic and truly their own. Not only through the character do we see that, but through James Gunn's direction and just the style and what, like you were saying earlier, what the world really needs right now. Being a good person, the best person you could possibly be, and doing that in a way that you acknowledge your mistakes. You acknowledge that no one's perfect, but you get up in the morning and, take each step, the best you can. The amount of, I can't say enough, the amount of heart in this movie just really impacted me to the point where if you look at my AMC history list, it takes up a majority. Like, I saw this movie 10 times in the theater. I've never, even for my favorite franchise, Star Wars, I don't think I've done that ever for a Star Wars movie. Superman just spoke to me in such a way that I was not expecting, especially from someone like James Gunn that he does make these types of movies that are unapologetic and wear their hearts on their sleeve. Yes. But like this one really stood out, and through the casting of David Cornswell and Rachel Brosnan and everyone in this movie, just how it works together, and it's the true epitome of what makes a film a great film. It's a collaboration of different pieces, and even behind the scenes when you see James Gunn working with Cornsweet through these different ideas but coming together to really make something that creates that big poignant powerful speech we see towards the end of the film, it just really makes it more of a revelation there. And this movie is truly a standout, one that whenever I scroll through it and I see the thumbnail on HBO Max, I have to pause and like, do I want to randomly watch this now, even though I have 12 other things to do? It's truly what it means to be a human and what it means to be a good person, the best person. And even when you're at your lowest of lows, how there's always a beacon of light at the end of the tunnel of darkness in the midst of it all. And it's just something that I think we all can take from and see the best in each other with. And I think it's truly a beautiful movie. I would even compare it to that of which I would, not many other people probably would compare it to, but some of the greatest films of all time that a lot of people get very emotional with, like Life is Beautiful and Cinema Paradiso, where it's, and those are some of my greatest favorite movies of all time. Just it and I wasn't expecting that from a Superman movie, where it captures the essence of humanity and being the light in the darkness. And Superman not only takes a movie in that direction, but takes a franchise in that direction and creates this world on that hero. And to do that and to take that risk of doing that in today's world, not only in movie making, but just generally, that's a ballsy move. And I gotta give all the credit in the world to James Gunn for doing that.
Chances of David Cornsweet receiving an Oscar nomination?
I think are none, unfortunately. And that's why
Percentage wise. Give me a percent.
I would say, because I think the shortlist is already out and he wasn't on it, so 0. But he definitely would be on the nomination list for me. 100%. I don't think I would have him win. I think personally, if you ask me, that's for Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
What Superman was able to do for not only me, but all these people in the world that went to go see it, in the circumstances it was in, the context of where the DC universe was in, where movie making and the box office was where it was, it truly did something stupendous here. And a lot of people were talking about it's a man's version of Barbie in a way. And I think that is such a great way to put it. And I'm really looking forward to what he's got next with Man of Tomorrow, but it's going to be a big thing to follow here because this Superman was truly super and did things the human way.
Yeah. Oh man, I knew it was your number one. I knew it was coming, but did not expect that transition either, though. So yeah.
So yeah, I'm feeling the emotions now.
Yes.
But yeah, guys. So Superman, F1, your turn. Let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. Let us know what you think about all of our top 5 or number ones, what didn't make the list, what you would rather have on your list, what you think about what we just talked about, the movies. Maybe there's like some sort of insight on the movies that we spoke of that you saw that we didn't. I mean, it's all a conversation that we like to have here. So we love the community. We love you guys. But this video isn't over yet. You know what's up next.
Yay!
So, Annmarie, what are we fast forwarding on to next here?
Oh, we finished 2025. We're moving on to 2026. But first, before our top 5, we got some honorable mentions here that we both written down. Because 2026 is stacked. I really struggled with this. And so I'm going to just kind of rapid fire some of my top honorable mentions. Supergirl's on there. Honestly, after you described Superman, it just made me more excited for Supergirl. It made me kind of question, should I switch my 5 in Super? But I'm going to keep it. Narnia is on my list too. Greta Gerwig's Narnia is next year.
That is next year.
It's next year. So excited. I rewatched Narnia the other day. It's been 20 years, everyone. And man, I teared up again. That's a movie that's really deep to my heart. It's kind of like the Lord of the Rings for me. I just grew up watching Narnia. Michael on there too. I'm so interested to see Jafar Jackson take on his uncle's performance. I'm really interested too because Michael was supposed to come out this year, but they did a little mistake because they added a lawsuit that wasn't supposed to be added. And lastly, Spider-Man is on my list too. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Wow, like I'm so interested. Who is Sadie Sink? I'm so interested.
The answer keeps changing, like someone messing with a Rubik's Cube. It's crazy. But no, that's a good list. A lot of those are on my list. I'll tell you that right now. I'll just mention the ones that you haven't mentioned already. So when it comes down to it, one of them is the Mario Galaxy movie. I really enjoyed the first Mario movie. It was one that just was a true success of a video game movie. It did what it needed to do. It didn't need to get all nitty gritty with storytelling because that's not really what Mario is about. It just delivered, what the nostalgia, the feels, while being its own little thing, and it was just a really fun time. And oh gosh, I can't remember the composer, but his score for that movie was really just a wonderful, wonderful piece of candy that just filled all the taste buds to the ears. Definitely looking forward to Mario Galaxy, especially since it's based on mostly, with the title, one of my favorite experiences as a child with the Mario Galaxy on Wii. It was just such a joy to my heart and a big part of my childhood. So definitely looking forward to them bringing it to the big screen, especially from what we saw before. We have Travis Knight's Masters of the Universe movie. I'm not the biggest fan of, He-Man and all that, but I did grow up with him and I did enjoy what I saw, and I mainly knew it from like Burger King toys, I believe that they were given out for a while. That's my closest association to Masters of the Universe, other than the passive Hanna-Barbera cartoon logo. But here, Travis Knight, just his filmography and just what I'm hearing about this movie, I feel like it could be like that next Barbie level thing of like taking a IP that is traditionally noted as being superficial, but kind of epic in a way, and just taking it to that next step to mean something more. I feel like Travis Knight is truly capable of doing that. We got Travis Knight's Masters of the Universe film, and followed by that, we have, this is the only one that you haven't mentioned yet that is on my honorable mentions list, which is Digger. We saw the teaser to this just when we got out of Marty Supreme, and Annmarie turns to me, it's like, what the hell?
Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't blame you. It's a really weird teaser, but it provides all the weirdness and insanity and just craziness and quirkiness that you need to be intrigued, especially when they just tell you that Alejandro Iñárritu, I believe is how you pronounce his name. If not, I'm sorry for butchering it. And then Tom Cruise coming back to play be a character actor here, and truly fulfill a role that's not Ethan Hunt. Nothing against him as Ethan Hunt, but I really like when Tom Cruise can really get into a character that's not needing to be like something we've seen the previous year, you know?
Definitely.
So, because he's a great actor when it comes down to it. So I'm looking forward to seeing these two pair up here, especially with the weirdness and sanity that they have going on with this vibe from that teaser. So Digger is on my list for honorable mentions, and I believe that will top it off.
Wow. All right. We'll go into our top 5 now.
Yes. So
oh, man. The hardest list of the day, to be honest.
2026 most anticipated movies of the year. So, guys, before we move on here, just let us know your takes on our tapes on the honorable mentions. Let us know your honorable mentions as well in the comments down below. We'll be eager to look at them and let you know our thoughts on them. So, guys, it's time, though, for the list of this hour. Looking at the runtime of the clock there. So it's like this hour now.
Yes.
So now, Annmarie, what is your number 5 most anticipated film of 2026?
Man, I love my superhero movies. I mentioned 2 on my list. And the 5th spot was really tough, but I gotta put Avengers Doomsday on there. I will always be a Marvel apologist. I will always be that. We've had some trailers come. You've seen some different trailers than me. There's been some leaked trailers, which we will not speak of. But oh my gosh, the Russo brothers are back. And man, you know me, Doctor Doom fan, Fantastic Four fan. Bring it. I'm so excited. I love Secret Wars, one of my favorite comic books. I know it's not Secret Wars, but let's be honest. It's Secret Wars Part 1 and Secret Wars Part 2 at this point. So excited for this movie. I cannot wait. And oh, Marvel needs to knock it out of the park here.
Avengers Doomsday is only your number 5.
It was a really hard list.
Wow, like I mean, for you to say that,
I know.
dang, this is gonna be an interesting list. Yeah, no, I'm hyped for that one too. And obviously, we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
But no, my number 5 for most anticipated of 2026 has got to be a director that I really, really, really am always lined up to see every time there's a movie announced by him. We're talking Robert Eggers and Werewolf.
Oh.
So Robert Eggers, for all you who don't know, has done The Northman, The Witch, and most recently Nosferatu and The Lighthouse as well. As you know, Nosferatu made my top, like I think it was my number 2 film of last year. It just hit all the points for me. It was one of my most anticipated films for that year and just absolutely exceeded all my expectations. So, Robert Eggers' next movie at the helm here, different source material being, the folklore of a werewolf, especially with how it's spelled. It's going to go into that old medieval folklore style and just, oh man, I'm hyped for it beyond belief. And we've gotten some little shots and stills from the set behind the scenes, and we've seen Lily Rose Depp coming back to work with Robert Eggers, and just she looks so different in this character. You can't even recognize her. You barely do. So credit to the makeup team already, and we haven't even seen a trailer or teaser for this movie. So hey, credit to the makeup team from the get-go. So Robert Eggers, Werewolf or Werewolf.
Whoa. All right. My number 4. Again, I think this is surprising, but you know what? When a trailers and when a market, that's so stupid. But it got me. I saw it during Hamnet, and I'm like, damn, I'm really excited for this one. You, Me, and Tuscany, the romantic comedy with Halle Bailey and the Bridgerton guy, also the black bad guy. I'm just a girl, and I love my rom-coms, and I'm just so excited for it. I'm Italian, man, love Tuscany. Yeah, I think I've done that twice now. I really do like Halle Bailey. I love her as Ariel in Little Mermaid, and I'm really excited to see her do comedy here. And we haven't had great rom-coms. We had Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, but I really want to see something that isn't based off are they dating or not dating in real life. I want something that's movie centric. And I saw the trailer and I was like, this really sold me. I'm really looking forward to this film. And I know it's before Doomsday, but I put it before Doomsday. I really enjoyed it, and I'm beyond excited to go see it. It's one of the ones that you wouldn't expect, but it snuck in there. So
wow, I was not expecting that one to be.
No, I can't believe
there's Doomsday for you. So yeah, I'm very confused by her list. If you can't tell, date. Yeah, no, I saw that trailer too. I thought it was very delightful.
It's
very
cute.
Yeah, it's a cute movie. And I love everyone in that cast. So I'd be down to see that one. We might do a review of it when it comes out. But that's Annmarie, me, and the movies. So. I should not make jokes anymore.
No, it's funny. I liked it.
So, with that, guys, I think it's time for my number 4 one, which is a little film that you may have heard of, just a little baby film. So, Avengers Doomsday is my number 4.
Oh, wow.
I have not been too excited about the Marvel movies other than Spider-Man, and I was hyped for Fantastic Four because I just wanted to finally see my boy Galactus on the big screen. So we got that, and I think that's great. That's wonderful. And one of my favorite villains of all time is Victor Von Doom, and the way that they're going about it here is so fascinating to me. And I'm always a sucker for a grand, fantastical sci-fi epic. So the scale at which we're hearing that this is going to be with Avengers Doomsday, it's got me hyped beyond belief. And we got Joe and Anthony Russo returning at the helm, and the same screenwriter that was for the other Avengers movies, and that they did in Civil War, Endgame, and all that jazz, and of course Kevin Feige, like that collaboration team has always been hitting on all cylinders when they work on a Marvel movie together. So why should I think less than when they're going to be doing it again here? I hope that, my expectations aren't misled here and that they're exceeded. I'm cautiously optimistic about this movie, but regardless, I am definitely excited nonetheless. Yeah.
And you read the comic this year.
Yeah, I did read Secret Wars this year, and the more I hear about what's going on for the story of this movie, the more I see the influences of, but the more I'm like, okay, I see where you're deviating
Yes.
here and there. So, and definitely there's more deviations, funny enough, deviant and funny, multiversal humor. Gotcha. But, I'm excited for it nonetheless. I hope they do well, and yeah, I'm more looking forward to the DC movies, but when it comes to Avengers Doomsday, I just want to see what they do
Yeah.
more than anything else. I'm just already excited for the DC stuff, so I don't think it really needs to be overstated on my top 5, so that's why I wanted to at least bring up the Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Number 3, my third one, Lionsgate is an interesting company because they've gone ups and downs, right? But this has been a killer for them year after year after year. And guys, that's Sunrise on the Reaping, the new Hunger Games franchise. I read the book this year. The author's so genius to write a book, but also sign a deal to make a movie a year afterward. Very smart marketing. In middle school, I read The Hunger Games, and I loved it. And going back into the world of Pandem, it's just absolutely insane. There's so much to it. And I'm so beyond excited for this Hunger Games movie because this book is brutal and it really reflects so much to just the political climate that's happening. And I'm just so interested to see these actors get into it. Joseph Zada, if you haven't seen We Were Liars, absolutely incredible actor. Can't wait for him to be Haymitch. Of course, McKenna Grace is in it, and she's absolutely killer. Like, she just kills it and everything. We have Jennifer Lawrence coming back, Josh Hutcherson coming back. This is just going to be a fantastic film, and I can't wait. Like, it feels like the YA novels are coming back and taking over. I just can't wait for them. So
YA novels are taking over?
yes.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Hunger Games person, not because I have anything against them, just because I haven't been really too exposed to the franchise all that much. So I can't really say too much on that, but just when we saw the trailer before Marty Supreme tonight, I saw all this cast there, that true ensemble, like Jesse Plemons and Ray Fiennes, like that movie has a lot going for it. So if the writing's there and the direction's there, man, you Hunger Games fans are going to be satiated.
It could be $1 billion. Could be $1 billion.
I mean, I don't know.
We'll see.
So we'll see. Now, my number 3 probably would, if you were to ask me a couple years ago, knowing when this movie was coming out, I probably would have had it at my number 1, but things have changed. Things have moved around. Other movies are getting me more excited as we get more and more exposed to the thing we call time. Now, with that all being said, number 3 is going to be Dune Part 3 from Denis Villeneuve. Now, Harry jaw dropped. We love that. So I love Denis Villeneuve's take on the Dune movies. The first one, Annmarie, was definitely an I told you so moment for her, where she's like, this is definitely like, like this is gonna be the next Star Wars, new Lord of the Rings. Like, you have no idea what you're in
all
for.
Called me liars, everyone.
I did not, but my ears were cautiously optimistic, and I listened with care, and I went into that theater and had a truly wonderful experience, and I loved every moment of it. and I was looking forward to the second one. The second one delivered in spades. It was like a religious experience in the movie theater. My jaw was dropped. I couldn't believe what we were seeing, and you and I went to go see that in an early fan screening in IMAX, and it was one of the most respectful movie theater going audiences ever. And it was truly a communal experience of sorts, and it almost felt like we were in a church. How that whole movie went down, and everyone, and just everyone's reactions, and just it was crazy. One of the best experiences I've ever had in a movie theater. So leading that into the third one, which I presume will be the end of Denis Villeneuve's Dune trilogy, I'm excited for it. I have only read the first Dune book. I have not read Dune Messiah, nor have I read Children of Dune, but I hear it takes influences from those. And like how I did with the first Dune movie and second Dune movie, I will not read those books until I see the movies first, because that's just, I don't want those expectations there, and I just felt like I was able to enjoy both thoroughly by doing it in that order. So judge me as you will, as one has, and we'll see where it goes. But nonetheless, I am excited for what Denis Villeneuve, one of the greatest directors out there, working today, has in store for us in this sci-fi realm.
That one really hurt. Like, that was painful.
Only it being number 3?
Yeah, that was painful.
Oh man, okay, we're gonna have fun here. So, Annmarie, what is your number 2?
Again, I went back and forth a lot on my number 1 and number 2 because these movies are just, I just can't believe that we're gonna live in a world where these two movies come out at the same time. But The Odyssey is my number 2. I was the very fortunate recipient to go see Avatar, and I got the 6-minute trailer for The Odyssey. Not everyone got that.
No, I didn't. I went specifically back to the IMAX 3D screening, and I only got the Thor Doomsday trailer.
Which I didn't get, so it's even trade-off.
Honestly, I would have. No, it's not.
Yeah,
I would take, if we could switch those around, I'd take that in a heartbeat.
But I got to see the Odyssey trailer, and man, oh gosh, Christopher Nolan, like, I'm a basic person. I love him. He's like one of my favorite directors of all time. And seeing what he's gonna do with the Odyssey, like, not even seeing the Odyssey, but seeing the trailer, I was like, wow, like, this is gonna be a moment in time. I have no doubt that this could win him his second Oscar. I have no doubt that Matt Damon's gonna kill it. I have no doubt that this cast is gonna kill it. Like, this movie looks insane. And I'm just so excited. Like, I don't care how long it is, Christopher Nolan. Make it 4 hours. I'll sit through 4 hours of this. I'm beyond excited to see what he does, and just the chemistry that these people have. Like, how in the world, you got Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, so many people in this film that I am beyond excited to see. And so I feel very fortunate that I got the 6-minute trailer, because it really helped shoot this movie into my top 2.
Now I know what your number 1 is.
Yeah, you were dumb.
But okay, yeah, no, that's excellent choice, excellent choice. And especially with you having the context of the 6-minute prologue, which I have not seen.
I feel so.
I want it in my optical holes.
It was so
bad.
It was so good.
I gotta say, my number 2, Fist My Bump.
What?
Project Hail Mary. So anyone who has read the book or has seen the most recent trailer knows exactly what that means. We have Phil Lord and Chris Miller at the helm for this movie. And I had heard bits and pieces about it, as we listened to other podcasters out there and listened to the trades and all that. And this one, had Ryan Gosling. This movie is one that if you were to ask me months ago, would this be in my top 10 even, most anticipated? Probably not. Because I had no idea what Project Hail Mary was, other than it was a space movie or like a space sci-fi movie based on a book written by the guy that wrote The Martian. I thought The Martian was great, but like I don't know, it didn't really stand out to me like it did a lot of other people. So, but the interesting thing was I was hearing a lot about the book and how into the book people were. Out of curiosity, I bought the book and read the book. I read that book in nearly one sitting, It was incredible. It was one of the best reads I ever had, and honestly, it's now in my top 5 books of all time. Ryan Gosling is truly the perfect casting for this character. Um, Knowing how we know Phil Lord and Chris Miller handle spectacle and storytelling together, it has me even more excited for it. The story itself and just how it's conveyed. I was worried at first with how the first trailer was going about it because it seemed like it was misinterpreting what this movie is truly meant to be. But now that we've gotten the second trailer, I think it falls more in the line with what I was reading in that book. With that, funny enough, with like an Oasis cover for like the song that they were using in that trailer. But yeah, it's Project Hail Mary. It's just, I want to see that on the big screen. Everything that's described in that book, I want to see it. And there's one character in particular, which you probably have been introduced to in the trailer already, even though in the book they're introduced in the beginning. But it's also a surprise when they're introduced. So it's kind of like, I'm curious to see how they go about that without that surprise being in there now, unless you don't see the trailer. So it's going to be interesting with how the marketing's going about it and how it's perceived in theaters and what they have in store for us and maybe the different tangents they go on and how they deviate from the source material. Regardless, it seems like they're going to keep true to the spirit of the book, so I am down. Project Hail Mary is my number 2.
Wow. I thought it was going to be your number 1, so it really threw me off when I had to fist bump you. I was like, what is happening?
Nah, and you did fist my bump, so thank you.
Okay. Number 1?
It's time for number 1. Guys, number 1 times, get your drums because they are rolling, and we want to know your takes on our tapes for our 5 through 2, and let us know if they're the same, line up with yours. Let us know all your takes on our tapes, but without further ado, let's get to our number 1 most anticipated film of 2026.
You guys, this is so obvious. It's Dune Part 3. Like, come on. I'm not even gonna tease you at all. Dune changed my life. Shout out Frank Herbert. Changed my life. I love these books. I'm not kidding you. Like, on my desk, there's a stack of books. It's pretty much all sits of the Dune book. I've said it before. Dune Part 2, I walked out. I'm like, wow, I know what it's like to see Star Wars for the first time, Lord of the Rings for the first time. This, Denis cannot miss. I'm so excited, especially for Dune Part 3, because I'm one of those rare occasions. I like Dune Messiah. A lot of people don't like Dune Messiah. I really like it. I like Children of Dune. I can't believe again, like, I wish I could go back in time and be like, hey, Annmarie, guess what? You're gonna get a Dune movie. I'm like, yeah, right. All we have is the bad, crappy one. No, we're gonna get a Dune movie. I just can't believe Denis gonna do it, and he's gonna hopefully. I'm manifesting this, pull off one of probably my favorite greatest trilogies of all time. I just don't understand how he can miss. He has done such a fantastic job. Timothée Chalamet, oh my gosh, Paul Atreides. I just can't believe that we're actually getting it. And like, I'm going to go to it and there's going to be tears in my eyes. And I swear to God, like, dude or Adventure Students say, one of you move, because I can't pick between my children. I really can't. I will go see them back to back. I can't believe we're going to get it. And I'm just so excited. And again, Denis deserves all the love here. It really is all the love to him. And I hope he can nails it. And I hope he wins his Oscar for it. I feel like a little kid. I'm like, it's real. Like, it's actually happening. And I just can't believe it. So
yeah, well, Warner Brothers, I believe, recently announced they are not moving.
I will go see both of them that night. I don't care.
They ain't leaving.
I will go see both. I have to. So
yeah, it's gonna be. That's where we hope we get those early screenings for one of those. But I'm sure for Doomsday there will not be an early screening. But for Dune, I have a feeling there might be, so we might be able to get away with it. We'll keep an eye out for those tickets.
If anyone's watching that is involved with Dune Part 3, I am the biggest fan. Please send Ethan and I to the premiere.
That would be incredible.
I manifest.
We're little nobodies, but
I manifest.
If you see something in us that is worthy of such a thing, this.
Please.
Yeah, yes, please. My number one is one that you've already covered, but I gotta say, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. I won't bury the lead there. We know this. Ethan hears that Christopher Nolan is doing story that Ethan loves. Ethan gets excited, and Christopher Nolan exceeds expectations in story, even though Ethan was already excited to begin with. This is a story that is as old as Ethan, that not to say The Odyssey, but just Nolan's covering of such stories. I'm so excited for this. When I heard he was doing Oppenheimer, I got so excited for that. And the cast is great. Listen, when it comes to Christopher Nolan and they announce the cast, that's great. I think that's great. However, when it comes to Christopher Nolan's movies, I get more excited about what story he's doing.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting because, when it comes to a lot of things with the cast, I think that plays a bigger role when it comes to a director of like how those directors interact with that cast, and that really creates a sort of style and synergy in the movie that we see and how it's executed. With Christopher Nolan, I think his true synergy comes with whatever source material he's working with.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say he doesn't, have a synergy and chemistry with his actors. Not saying that at all. But I'm saying in regards to what is more valuable and what is presented more when we see it conveyed on the big screen, I would have to say that that takes the win, his relationship with the source material and story. So I don't know how Christopher Nolan was introduced to the Odyssey, whether it's a childhood story of his, or if it was something he just read in high school passively, or if it was something that, he read in college. I don't know. But it seems that he is truly passionate of conveying the story in a true Christopher Nolan fashion, where it doesn't necessarily need to be historically visually accurate, but needs to be true to what the source material and story was looking to convey.
Mm-hmm.
And the Odyssey being basically the Adam architect of all of storytelling is truly a feat for one of the greatest directors, if not the greatest director working today, to cover. And I am truly excited for it, especially since we're hearing that he's still doing this type of movie. If you know the story of the Odyssey, how do you do a movie like this with little to no CGI? Like, it's going to be like practical, there's practical locations, practical monsters even. Like, I am hyped beyond belief on a technical level for this movie. It's going to be the first movie shot entirely in IMAX. It's going to be with this great stacked cast that, you already listed everyone on there. Like, it's everything about this movie has got me hyped beyond belief. And that's why I'm incredibly upset I get to see the 6-minute prologue. I'm not sure if they're still showing it in theaters, but I'm going to maybe see Avatar Fire and Ash one more time in IMAX. We'll see. To see if I can catch it, but gosh, there's no movie that's coming out next year that has me more excited, more energetic, and more in love with movie making and storytelling than Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey that's coming up. Man, I'm gonna whip out my leather-bound copy of The Odyssey when I get back home, and it's gonna be, oh man, I'm just gonna be like, wow, we're getting this next year on the big screen and actually delivered by one of the greatest directors working right now. So hyped beyond belief.
Oh man, that's it. That's our top 5.
Yeah. So guys, that was that was a journey. That was an odyssey within itself.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us on this, again, an odyssey of a podcast here. We want to know your takes on our tapes, of course, in those comments down below. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on what we've said. Let us know your thoughts on what you have to say, and just your top fives, whether it be most anticipated, your most biggest disappointment of the year, a list of your biggest disappointments, a list of your favorites of the year. We want to hear it all. It's a community. We love this cinematic community we have together, and we love it all. So we want to hear from you. And most importantly, we want to thank you for being with us on this journey of 2025. A lot of you have joined us during the duration of the year. and we're more than happy to have you. It's just such a fun ride, and we love doing what we do, regardless of who's listening. But the fact that you are listening, and we see you guys growing, this community growing, and how some of you guys interact on this platform with us, it's truly a sight to behold, and our hearts are so filled, and we love it. We don't always agree with everything that's said on it, but we just love that there's these different perspectives out there, and we're so happy that it's something that we can all be a part of and to share with you guys. So thank you so much for being a part of the Cassette Take family.
Yeah, thank you for everyone for viewing, liking, subscribing, commenting. We love it. We love seeing it. And Ethan, thank you again for this awesome journey. I can't wait for Cassette Take in 2026.
So much thank you from the bottom of our hearts, our bottom of our little Cassette Take shaped hearts. So with that, guys, we hope you haven't ejected thus far into the podcast or this year, but whether you have or haven't, please don't forget to rewind. I've been Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And have a wonderful, happy, blessed New Year.